sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. The rain is coming. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. I think I can make it now, the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is the rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Look all around, nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, nothing but blue skies. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day.
Can we have that again? Well, aloha, everyone.
Aloha.
There's great energy in this room today.
Lots of new faces. Welcome to
Yes.
Center for Spiritual Living Kaua'i. I'm Reverend Rita. This is Reverend Patrick. Michelle LeMay, who usually does our announcements, is out of town, so we'll just be telling you a few things that are going on this week mostly.
And she's probably watching, so we might as well say aloha to Michelle.
Aloha,
Michelle. She is traveling the Hawaiian Islands as a tour guide, so she will be back soon. I know everybody's like, whoa.
Some people just have terrible jobs, don't they? Anyway, so the first thing we want you to know about is that this Thursday evening at 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., we're having our monthly healing circle. Please join us. It is an amazing experience. We have beautiful music by Maria Christina, deep meditation. You get to experience a chamber of prayer with our practitioners. It's definitely a place to come if there's something in your life that you want to know something more about and be healed of. It is a very, very, very powerful evening, and please join us on Thursday at 7 p.m. right here, all right? It'll be all beautiful with candles, and you don't have to do anything but show up.
Yeah.
You just receive. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to do anything. You just show up and just enjoy it. And I'm going to ask Reverend Diane to come up now and tell us about something that's coming up Saturday.
Good morning. Good morning. You know, there's actually a lot going on. I know that many people are attending the class on Wednesday evening, but this is the YWCA's Week Without Violence. So I hope you'll all be good out there. Wednesday evening, though, from 5 to 7 p.m., there'll be a candlelight vigil at St. Michael's Church for survivors of domestic abuse. And so if that touches your heart, I hope you'll join us in Lihue for that. The National Make a Difference Day is Saturday, October 20th. That's coming up, and it's dark 30, 7:30. We need to be at Lidgate with our purple shirts on, if you have them, as a way to reach out and spread our aloha in the community and be of service to Lidgate that has given us so much over the years as a place to be, a place to hold our ceremonies, and it's our chance to give back to our community. And so I hope you'll join us for, if nothing else, please be there with your work clothes on, and a fabulous lunch will be served afterwards by the volunteers. And so please join us for that.
And there's a sign-up sheet for everything that we do so that we have an idea of who's going to be attending.
We have a lot of fun.
We do.
We do.
And on October 25th at 6:30, we have a series we just started called Power Talk Evenings. Did anybody go to the last Power Talk evening? Yes. Well, we're going to increase it this time because who's our wonderful Jonathan is there, is going to be one of our speakers. Natalie Kelly, Deb Valentina, and you need to catch this one because if you haven't caught the fact that she's going to be leaving Ireland at the end of November, I might want to catch her speaking engagement, and Reverend Kaya as well.
And the topic is?
Things that go bump in the night.
Wow.
Leaves that wide
We'll see
open.
where they go with that one. And then at the end of the month, on the 30th, we have another in our New Thought Meet and Greet series, which is going to be the life and teachings of Neville Goddard. And next week, Stephanie Starrett, who is hosting that, will tell us a little bit more about that. But you can go to our Facebook CSL Kauai page, and you can read more about it. It's a very exciting New Thought teacher that we're going to learn more about that night. And Spiritual Living Circles in Kalaheo is with Rebecca DeRuz this week, actually, on October 17th at 4 p.m. I don't think she's here today, but call her and you can get more details. Her number is in the program. And then the other important thing is
on a roll.
October 28th is our next new member Sunday. So if you've been thinking of becoming, some of you think you're members, but you're not.
You think you're members, but you're not.
Everybody is always welcome here, but members hold a special place in that they've decided to make this their home. They've decided to support this with their spirit and their talent and and also their donations, and they've committed to their spiritual journey and in a way that they can have a family to be accountable to and to support them on that spiritual journey. So we will be welcoming in new members on Sunday, October 28th during service. It's a beautiful rose ceremony with music and a loving and just delicious time. So if you just want to be a member of CSL Kauai, come talk to Rev Patrick or me. And Michelle's not here, or any of the actually practitioners know more about that. And I think that's all we have.
I think
right?
it is. And there's the just one sheet you fill out. There's no initiation, no walking on fire. None of that happens with this. And you can also, if you're a member of another center off island, you can actually be dual membership. So that's a really new thing that's absolutely wonderful. But before we go on, if you're wondering about the tie-dyed lei, yes, I know you were, because I could see you staring at them. Our beautiful children yesterday, we have a 6-week program that was given to us for a grant. It's called Kids in Art. And we've just ended our 6 weeks with a little presentation for their parents and their thing. And one of the parents came and brought us and presented us with these. So we said we will have to wear them in the morning as well. So the kids did a wonderful job, and we are so proud of them and so proud of this grant that continues to allow these arts to continue here at CSL Kauai.
It was given to us by Cal Stanny.
Yes.
And the Stanny Foundation. Okay.
All right. So should we light a little?
All right. Let's let all that go now and just take a deep breath. And we're going to settle into this moment and recognize, as we do each and every Sunday, and I trust that we do it all the time, not just on Sundays, that recognize that peace that is the very center of our hearts and souls and minds. Peace begins within each of us. And there it ripples out into the world. So let's just take a moment to center in peace and silence. And so I recognize that peace within me. I recognize that peace within each and every one of us, knowing it is our true identity, that it is the divine presence which lives within us, that is always there. We can call on it any time. It never fails us. And I give gratitude for that peace, knowing as we experience it in our hearts, the ripple effect of that peace goes out into our families, our friends, this island, and the world, and the universe. We are peace, and so it is.
So it is. It always feels so good to get grounded, doesn't it? Centered, yeah.
So, welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Kauai. There's a lot of new faces here today, and I just want you to know that this center was built or began 5 years ago, a little over 5 years ago, when Reverend Patrick and myself had an idea. It was a divine idea in the mind of God, because the mind of God is who each and every one of us are. And we brought that idea here and birthed it. And because we feel so strongly about this philosophy and this teaching called the science of mind and spirit, which lets us know that no matter what we're experiencing, no matter what's happening in the world, no matter what, the divine presence, which we call God, Spirit, Source, I don't care what we call it, it's one thing, resides within each of us. And as we begin to live our lives from that place using the power of our thoughts, the power of our energy, our awareness, we can change our experience. And I know this is the truth because I've experienced it myself. And that's why we celebrate here every Sunday to remember that. And we do our classes and all the things that we do, and we take it into our lives. So thank you for being here. I'm so grateful. And although I was thinking about this morning, although Patrick and I might have birthed this idea, it's kind of like having a baby in a way. It's not yours anymore. We're the vehicle to bring it here, but now it's all of ours. And I love that idea that we can let go and just let this thing evolve the way that it does. Anyway, so that was on my heart today.
Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful. We're a battery charging station. We come. Isn't that nice? We come here together to celebrate as family, and then we just charge up, and then charge out into our world and give all of that. So who is here for the very first time? You cannot hide because we have shell necklaces around
Maybe
your...
not.
Or maybe not. Yes, there's my God. Okay, so here's the deal. Even if you didn't raise your hand, I know who you are, because we have information about you that we're going to share with everyone here at the center. Aren't you glad you raised your hand? Okay, so here it is. We know the information. We're not going to hold it back from you any longer. We're going to let you know, shall we? Okay. You are magnificent.
You are magnificent.
Oh, I love the expressions on your face, the sense of relief that somebody didn't actually tell us the truth. But here's the deal. We know this about you. We know your magnificence because we know it about what? Ourselves. So we can't recognize it in you if we don't recognize it in ourselves. Just how it works, my friends. So shall we say it together? I am magnificent. Now, here's part 3. Behind you, there's a gentleman pointing the camera towards all of this space. So basically what that is called live streaming.
And his name is Rob.
And his name is Rob.
And that's with 2 B's.
That's 2 B's. That's right. This is not about Rob. This is about that camera right here. That isn't. So what this basically tells us is that everything we do here today does not stay on Kauai. It goes out into the world. It goes out to the mainland. It actually goes internationally because we get emails saying, we saw you crazy, crazy people over there on the island, and we love you. And we so give so much to people that are actually out there. And I just want to do a couple shout outs because I promised I would. So I see my friend Holly Harris, who's over on Oahu right now doing recovery. We see Angela's mother, Sandy. We see Carrie and Michael, who used to be the music here at the center. We do, and I used to have a list, but let me tell you, anyone else we know?
Not that I can think of now, but
And
I know
all of you
there's
people.
lots.
Betsy, that was the one. Hi,
all
Betsy, and she tunes in every week. So this isn't Romper Room, just in case that you were wondering. But it is a wonderful place that we can allow, you see what I mean? The connection is so divine that when you leave here, if you're visiting, you don't have to leave us. Just tune in when you get home. We're right here for you. So, shall we let them know who they are? Yes. We definitely should. You are magnificent. Now, look to your left, to your right, look up, down, I don't care. Let somebody know who they are. You are magnificent.
Had to be bold in there.
Wow. It's like a spiritual bar in here. Everybody, get on up on your feet and let's have the opening song. Magnificent people.
This song by Kara Mitchell, words inspired by Emma Curtis Hopkins. Thank you, Maria, Christina, and Luis.
My good is my God. My God is my good. All the good there is belongs to me. My good is my God. My God is my good. All the good I see belongs to me. That's my truth with a capital T. It's all about living free. My good is my God. My good is my God. I have all I'll ever need. My good is my God. My good is my joy. My joy is my good. All the joy there is belongs to me. My good is my joy. My joy is my good. All the joy I see belongs to me. That's my truth with a capital T. It's all about living free. My good is my God. My good is my God. I have all I'll ever need. My good is my God.
Is everyone feeling good today? So this is what I know in all this greatness and this goodness that is moving through each and every one of us, that there is this power that needs no name because it is all names, and it is running through each and every one of us right here, right now. And I just call it love for the sake of a wonderful name. Love is what's happening in this room. It is moving through each and every one of us, and I know that this celebration moves from this moment to the next moment to the next moment, knowing that that very breath that each of us is breathing is the breath of good, the breath of God. It is breathing through us, as us, celebrating itself, its greatness through us, and knowing that we can have at it in any moment. And that's what we're doing right here by divine appointment. We have come together to celebrate our divinity, celebrate who we are, celebrate our God within as us. So knowing that, it is all good. It is all God. Now together with such gratitude we say and affirm, and so it is.
My good is my love is my good. All the love there is belongs to me. My good is my love is my good. All the love I see belongs to me. That's my truth with a capital T. It's all about living free. My good is my God. My good is my God. I have all I'll ever need. My good is my God. My good is my God. My good is my God.
Let's all take a breath together and settle into ourselves as we take this time for conscious communion with the One, this time of meditation. I'd like to invite you to close your eyes if you're comfortable and settle in and know that you're fully supported and safe in this place to let go of outer concerns and all that has gone before this moment and simply rest in the divine within you. Have courage. Every time one conceives a new idea, it is God expressing. Have courage. Every time one conceives a new idea, it is God expressing. courage. Every time one conceives a new idea, it is God expressing. As I stand here centered in the truth, knowing that there is only one power, one presence, and one love, and it is moving me, it is breathing me, it is flowing the blood within my body, waving the ocean, and blowing the winds. I stand centered in that and know that there is only one power, one presence, and one love. And it is moving in and through everything we see and cannot see. It is right where we are. It is the love of God. It is the beauty of God. It is the power of God. It is the divine idea of God expressing in a unique way within each one of us. And so I speak my word today, knowing that each one of us has a divine well of courage, that we are divinely guided, guarded, and protected at all times. And so there is no thing in this universe to stop us from stepping out in creative self-expression, in following the divine idea that occurs to us in that moment, the divine guidance, the inner knowing is God speaking within each one of us. And so I know that there is nothing to stand in the way of this divine expression, each one of us on our perfect path with our purpose clearly in front of us. And so we take a step even though we can't see the next one. We take a step knowing that it is God, it is God, it is God. And so grateful that right where I am, this truth is already known in the mind of God. I simply release my word. There's not a thing I need to do, but allow it to come forth in the right and perfect way through me and through you. And so I know that it does so right here, right now. It is already done in the mind of God. I'm so grateful. I am so grateful to know this truth for each one of us. And to watch with wonder as it expresses and comes into fruition in amazing, expected and unexpected ways. And so it is done now. It is done in this moment, and we simply step into it and allow it to come through us. Please join me in affirming this. And so it is. Mahalo.
And our chant is in the program. Please join with us.
Thank you, Reverend Diane, for that powerful spiritual mind treatment. Thank you, Maria Christina. Thank you, everyone, for being here with your consciousness today. The topic is being bold and daring. Do you feel bold and daring? It's that time in our evolution where we have to be bold and daring. And that's looks different to all of us individually, right? For me, it's being able to look beyond what I see and to know that something greater is happening. To me, being bold and daring means that I don't look, as Patrick said, I think last week or in class, I'm not sure where, at the snapshots of life, but to know that there's a bigger picture going on that we might not know right now, but that we can trust it. To me, being bold and daring is more about not getting braver, but about building my faith and my trust in something unseen, because that's where everything starts. When I get up, Saturdays, well, I think about the talks all week long, but the topic, but Saturday we kind of sit down and try to put our thoughts together. And for some reason, this one was, I don't know, I just kept writing all these different things, and I go to bed. This happens sometimes. And then I go, I'm going to know right when I wake up in the morning that everything's going to be just fine, and the right words are there for me. And then I found a quote by Emma Curtis Hopkins this morning that said that you write everything all the time, and that's good that you do that. So now you just have to trust, this is not the direct quote, but that what you learned, you'll be able to speak. And I was like, oh, okay. That was pretty direct. So, yeah. And I found this quote by Ernest Holmes this week, and it really got me thinking about being bold and daring. It's on the very first page of The Science of Mind, and it says, we see the abundance in the universe. We cannot count the grains of sand on a single beach. The earth contains untold riches, and the very air is vibrant with power. And then he asks the question, why is then man weak, poor, and afraid? I think it's a really good question. And he goes on to say that this is the question that the Science of Mind tries to answer. We see all this, we know all this, we can feel it, and yet we still are weak, sick, not all of us and not all the time, but at points in our life, weak, sick, and afraid, right? Well, he goes on to say that the divine plan is one of freedom. It's a plan of freedom. Bondage is not God ordained. Freedom is the birthright of every living soul. So where it all lies is that we got choice. Got choice? Yes. We have choice in every single solitary moment, how we choose to perceive events, how we choose to use the greatest power that we have, which is the power of our energy, of our minds. I like to use the word awareness. Minds makes me maybe think that you're thinking of brains. It's not our brains, it's our mind, which is behind our brain, the consciousness, the awareness. We get to choose in every moment how we want to use that. And like I said before, it's not about getting more brave. It's about building that faith in that thing that we cannot see, not judging by appearances of what seems. I think there's a quote, right? Judging not by appearances. Why? Because that's not really the truth. The appearance is just an effect. It's just something that happens because we've thought that way long enough, and it's kind of coagulated into form. But we believe in the formless. That idea that everything is formless and it's just energy and it's just recreating itself in every single solitary moment. We have an amazing Science of Mind Foundations class. It is an amazing class right now. There's like 19, I think, or 20, maybe 21. There's one online. Wow. We had, for me, on the fourth class is about wholeness. And for me, it was like a pivotal time for me in this curriculum, because I knew that whatever we choose to believe about wholeness was going to form the rest of the journey if we were to believe in wholeness. Our teaching is based in wholeness, and it's not always easy to believe in wholeness when we see everything that seems to be so unwhole. But behind everything, there is wholeness. And that is the reason why we heal. It's the reason why we can change. It's the reason why we can co-create with Spirit, is because wholeness is already there. And so there's no loopholes to this. That's the thing. There's no loopholes. And we talked about illness a lot. And we talked about, people getting sick and how... It's okay. It was your phone. I love that phone. I know that. We talked about people getting sick. And it's okay, let it ring. We talked about people getting sick and why does that happen. Then we decided that asking why was a very stupid question. And it is a very stupid question, and it does not bring on healing, because sometimes in this teaching, we get labeled and blamed, yes, as thinking that we say that you make yourself sick by your thoughts. That is not what we teach. And there is no reason for anyone to blame themselves for being sick. The only reason we ever have any difficulties in life is because we've forgotten who we are. And that is what we have to remember when we have a financial problem, when we have an illness, any of that. That is the thing that will heal us, is when we remember who we are. And it's not easy, and it's not easy to remember who we are when we're in the middle of something. But it is very bold and daring to remember who we are, and we have to be bold. We've got to be so bold now. I mean, I have to be bolder than I've ever been in my whole life right now with everything. I've had 2 weeks that have been boom, 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 and I had to, in every moment, keep myself centered and keep myself bold and daring to keep believing what I believe and knowing what I know, and not just looking at the snapshot and saying that's the truth, because it's not. I feel very passionate about this, and I feel that we're at a brink right now that we can go one way or the other, and that these powerful people that are in this class that we're teaching, I feel like when I walked out of there, I felt like I used to feel leaving my center in North Hollywood. I felt like I was going out into the night, and we all knew something, and we were going to take it out into the world, and we were going to change the world by what we knew, and it felt so good, and it felt so powerful. Well, we don't need to change the world, we just need to change ourselves, but that's what it felt like. We were like these little, I don't know, just little healers going out into the world, and it felt so good. I'm just, be bold. You don't have to be in class to be bold. You don't have to be being in class is great, because when we're in class, when we come together and we start talking about these things and actually go beyond Sunday, we get to embody them more. We get to experiment with them more. You can just go out from here and do the same thing, but there's something about being with a group of people and actually going deep into the idea. So, what is courage? What is this month is all about courage. I got this quote from The Wizard of Oz. Not having fear isn't brave, said the wizard. It's foolhardy. Any real hero knows fear. And then the cowardly lion said, well, I'll tell you one thing. So does a real coward. And the wizard said, the difference is a hero masters his fear. And that's what we're being asked to do, is to master our fear. Not try to convince everybody else that we're not afraid, not try to change anybody else, but to center in ourselves and master ourselves, master our minds, master our thoughts, master our energy, and realize that it is God in us, like Diane said in her treatment, breathing through us, living through us. And we have a responsibility to let that out in the biggest, grandest way that we can individually, because each of us has it. Each of us, I don't have any more than anyone else. We all have it. And we all know that if we let it out, let it truly out, we are backed 100% of the way, 1,000,000% of the way. Joseph Campbell said, if you follow your bliss, you put yourself on a kind of track that has been there all the while, waiting for you. And the life that you ought to be living is the one you are living. The life you ought to be living is the one you are living. You're already living it. When you can see that, you begin to meet people. Here we all are. You begin to meet people who are in your field of bliss, and they open doors for you. I say, follow your bliss and don't be afraid. The doors will open where you didn't know they were going to be. This is the trust and the faith we have to have. We have to trust the unknown. We have to step out. Diane said it in her treatment too. Step out knowing that we're caught. It's our responsibility to express this power that's within us in the greatest way that we can, individually and uniquely ours. I believe in you. Namaste.
Where I live, there are rainbows. children laughing in this place I love, where I live. There are rainbows with life and the laughter of morning and starry nights. Where I live, there are rainbows with flowers full of color and birds filled with song. I can smile when it's raining and touch the warmth of the sun. I hear children laughing where I live, where I live, where I live. There are rainbows. There are rainbows.
Thank you so much. We do live where rainbows are, don't we? Wow, this whole month, I'm going to have to take this off if you don't mind. Just because. It's so beautiful, but hey, have you ever had that feeling that you're being constricted? And we're all family here. We love our lay, but I need to be free, baby. I got something to say. It's so nice to be able to do that, right? Right? When you're with family, it's okay, usually. So here's the deal. This month is all about courage. And last week, I believe I left you with the idea that, remember last week we had the little Brene Brown quotes. They do it every time. But that idea that I have the courage to ... and we talked about it. We have the courage to love. It takes courage to love. Love yourself especially. It takes incredible courage. It takes daily practice. So I'll start you with another quote from Marianne Williamson. We're going to lighten it a bit here, maybe. You know Marianne, she's only light for a moment. It takes courage to endure the sharp pains of self-discovery rather than choose to take the dull pain of unconsciousness that would last the rest of our lives. And I'll say that again because it's so light and airy. It takes courage to endure the sharp pains of self-discovery rather than choose to take the dull pain of unconsciousness that would last the rest of our lives. If that doesn't open our hearts for a moment, I don't know what does. And sometimes it feels as though we're saying things to sometimes even make us feel bad, right? But it's not. It's about breaking it. It's about breaking down, breaking out of anything that we ever thought of as something that needed to be feared. So this week I'm going to take you on a Reverend Patrick Feren travel log of the bold and the daring. Because this has been a week. Have you ever had one of those weeks at the end of it? We were like, I said, Rita, I'm like, wow. What's all the crying? You know, I was trying to go, no, I mean, everything is, and I was like, wow, I'm so emotional. And I know none of you ever saw that in me before because of my brave and daring self, but this is what I witnessed this week, and I have a couple of notes just so I don't forget some of them. I witnessed so much brave and so much boldness and daringness from people that we met. And the first one was that Rita and I did 2 marriages this week, and there was this couple. They had been married to their spouses for 49 years, and they had passed away. And she was daring to marry again. Family wasn't that thrilled about the whole thing. It happened very quick. And she dared to say, where there was a part of her that didn't even want to live after he was gone. Another part of her that said, I dare to love again. And we were allowed to witness and officiate this beautiful moment of someone saying, and tears, and I remember telling them, let it all up. All the anger, all the daughters there, everything, it was beautiful because everything was coming up. I can't believe this is happening. Where's my dad? Blah, you know? But here's the thing, love has to win. And then we had another wedding that they had held off for a little bit too, and she just was in the discovery of, wow, why did I wait so long? This feels so right. So I'm not promoting that we all go out and get married if we're not, but I am promoting that takes courage. 49 years, you're a little set in your ways. 10 years, you're set in your ways. And then this week, we had a beautiful meditation that I watched as a small group of us went deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper in order to say, wow, what's at this deepness? Some expressed, love is here. Self-love is here. I watched the Courage of the Science of Mind class with their eyes wide open and saying, holy crap, we might be onto something here, Watson. All this time I've been like kind of shy. Woo! There is something going on here. There might be something to be known. All that suffering thing might have been overplayed. I watched our kids' class. And if you ever want to be taught something, watch them. I watched them stand up in front of a camera. Rob came in and filmed them on their last day. And I watched one of the young students who, they were all like scared to stand in front of the camera, right? I mean, some were like, no, I'm not afraid, you know. And the whole time they're going, God, I hope I make it. I hope I make it. And I saw all that fear. And there was a little boy who had a little bit of a stutter. Little bit. And he was so scared. And I felt his fear because I said to him, these adults don't stutter and they won't get up in front of this camera. Think about it. And he just bravely, boldly walked in front of that camera to do that commercial with every bit of power that he had and did it. And where the courage was as we spoke, it's not about not being afraid. It's about being afraid and doing it anyway. That's what it's about. I observed, I was so blessed again all week. I was blessed to speak with someone we had our inner child workshop on Thursday, and another brave people that's saying, what's inside of me I've been keeping quiet? Where's that voice that still needs to be heard? I call it the inner you. But I'm going to tell you what I really call the inner child. And so next time we have one, you might think of this. I call it the God particle. I call it the God particle. It's the power within us that is that childlike wonder that says, yeah, I'm scared, but let's go do it. Because I know there's something over there, and let's do it. It's the God particle. It's the healing part of us. Can you imagine just think, maybe, hypothetically, that we might have been ignoring something that has been actually our healer. Just saying. Just saying. And I saw another woman, and I had the experience of being one-on-one, and her little child came out to meet me. It was show and tell for the first time. And I bravely, as they bravely, we sat in the darkness and didn't try to fix a damn thing. I love New Thought because you can actually use the word damn and not be condemned. It's so beautiful. In the midst of this darkness, we just sat there, and I said hello to this little girl that has been wanting to talk for a very long time. And she actually was there, and I said, welcome. And I could feel her wanting to go back in, like, who's this crazy man sitting across from me? And I said, I'm your friend. Come on out. Come on in the water. The water's fine. You're safe. You're safe. That's all I believe we ever want to be, is safe. And we want to be heard. And we want to be understood. And we want to know what this thing called God is. This thing called God that everybody's been talking about forever. I used to tell my little kids, they would say when I was a youth minister, where is he? I've been looking for years, can't find him. Everybody keeps talking about him, but he's nowhere to be found. And I said, well, she is. I said, do you want to know why we've never found God? We have looked, we have condemned, we have judged our way through it. We have done all of these things. We have beat ourselves up to be worthy of this thing called God. And these little kids, I told them, I said, the reason is because you were looking in the wrong place. We've been looking for God outside there. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? He's abandoned me. He's not here. He's not here. I'm looking at the clouds. He was supposed to be there. Because God has been right here all the time. Never, no matter what you've done, no matter what you could do, no matter the people sitting in prison right now in those cells, God is right there with them. The people that are sitting in a bed ready for their transition, God is right there with them. The people that are going through divorces, going through understandings and things that are frightening them, God is there. Because God has never left us. Wow, guys. Who knew? This is a hide and seek that was really worth playing. So what are we going to do now that we're not looking anymore? What are we going to do when there's nothing to search for, nothing to argue for, nothing to debate? What are we going to do now that God has arrived? Can you believe it? October 14th, here at CSL Kauai, God has arrived. Can I hear amen? Yes. Holy, who would have known? We have. We knew all the time. We knew all the time. Every time that we got through another mess, God was there. And someone said to me, talk about love. No, love's not a Hallmark card. Love can be really messy. But boy, is it delicious, and it's there to save us and to love us. I'm glad I don't get passionate about anything when I want to end with another quote, and it's not Brene Brown, it's Charlize Picard. And it's to blend this time that we've had together to understand what's going on in our world. We haven't forgotten it. I just took a moment to leave it out there for a moment so we could get down to where we need to be. We're God. We're God. What do you even say? But as you guys know me, I will find something. One of the most calming and powerful actions you can do to intervene in a stormy world is to stand up and show your soul. Soul on deck shines like gold in dark times. The light of the soul throws sparks, sends up flares, builds signal fires, causes proper matters to catch fire. That's what we're doing with all this stuff that we're losing sleep over. We're throwing up sparks, man. God's here. Narcissism, who cares? God's here. To display the lantern, this is such poetry, to display the lantern of soul in shadowy times like these. To display the lantern of soul in shadowy times like these. To be fierce and to show mercy towards others. Both are acts of immense bravery and greatest necessity. Struggling souls catch light from other souls who are fully lit and willing to show it. If you would help to calm the seas, this is one of the strongest things that we can do. We are the light. Whether or not today is the day that it's shining as bright as it can shine, it doesn't matter if it's a pinhole of light. That is good, that is God peeking its wonderful energy out. So, what are we going to do now? Wow. How do you feel? Not individually, just collectively. Show me a. How do you feel? Yeah. I mean, we can either be, what a relief. What a relief. Whatever's going on in your life, what a relief. I don't have to prove anything anymore. I don't have to do anything. Hello, God. Wow. Thank you for being here. And I'm looking out at all these gods from the one God. You bet. And so it is. So if you're here for the first time, welcome again.
Let's take a deep breath.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is our time of giving. And I want to say thank you in advance from Center for Spiritual Living Kauai, which is sustained totally by donation from its very inception. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to everyone online for supporting CSL Kauai and all the good work that it does. And knowing that 10% of what you give here goes out into the world to different organizations, other centers, individual people that spiritually nourish us. This month, some of it went to Suicide Prevention Task Force. Some of it went to Lidgate, different child services we give to every month. So just so you know where it's going. Okay, so we have an affirmation in our program. Let's read it together. And
Freely and joyously give from the abundance and fullness of my overflowing wealth,
knowing that gift goes to love as it touches and blesses Center for Spiritual Living Kauai, my life and the world. And so it is. Thank you, everyone.
And your gratitude song is in your program too.
Let's
Are we ready?
Pick up the speed on it.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank
for the flow of abundance moving in and through each one of us as divine abundance right here in this basket. Knowing that it moved through each one of us because we have enough to give. Yes? Yes. And so we do so with love, with joy, in support of this ministry. I give thanks. And so it is.
So it is. Thank you, Reverend Diane. All right. I think we have some children. Are they here?
I think we do.
Yes.
Yeah, I can see them scurrying around. But in the meantime,
In the meantime, we'll ask the practitioners to come forward now.
practitioners come forward.
Yeah. So you have the opportunity. Who's the practitioner in service today? Roseanne. Reverend Diane.
Rob is right
in the
there.
back. Malia.
Malia.
Good. Okay, so you have the opportunity to have a spiritual mind treatment. If there's something that's come up for you or something you want to know more about, they will talk to you about spiritual mind treatment and do a spiritual mind treatment for you and your life. So please take advantage. And it looks like you had, wow.
Yes, and she painted a picture of her doggie and the invisible force field around her doggie.
Oh, Malia, that's beautiful.
Malia. Do we have a message for Malia? This is
She
Janice,
gets the
everybody.
whole message
Janice,
today.
you can take the message to her. Are you ready?
Yes.
You are amazing. You are perfect. You are magnificent. And we love you. And so it is. All right. Thank you, Janice. You just never know when you're a youth director, because Patrick and I did it for a while, who's going to show up on Sunday. Sometimes we have 10 children, and sometimes we have one little beautiful, amazing spirit like Malia. But we continue with what we do all the time. So anything else?
No, we have our wonderful building fund over here that looks like it's going to be counted, where our beautiful Diane is now standing. Exactly.
And what that is that's for our future. You wanna
Yes.
tell them about it?
No, go ahead.
No, that's for our future. We are sustaining here, and we are looking to expand. We have to expand within the next 2 years. So if you know of any place that you think would be a good expansion place for Center for Spiritual Living Kauai, please keep us in mind when you're looking out there in the world and you hear things from realtors and stuff like that, all right? So, yes.
We were saying that when you're actually putting out the manifestation, it's not about necessarily all the property, even though we have our vision out there. It's about what is it that we want to do. We want to expand. What is it that we want to do? We want to take our kids out of the kitchen. Or just continue to call them kids in the kitchen. And so, so that's where our focus is. Does that make sense? That's what we're putting out there. We're not like, I want this, and I make sure it's that, and make sure we need to get our kids out of the kitchen. We need to expand where we come on Sundays and all of our things during the week. And then Spirit, that law, will take care of it from there. Right? Right.
That's how we've built so far.
That's how we do it.
All right. I think we're good.
So everyone who want to get on their feet,
Yes.
or not.
Today is the day I will change my luck. I will find 3 pennies and there'll be heads up. I will walk like a queen in my tennies and jeans, 'cause I know where I come from. From the stars of the sun, from that magical wood, I am part of this thing called life. Yeah. From the known to unseen and everything in between, I am part of this thing called life. I am one with this thing called life. And today is the day I'll remember to see only good, only God happening through you and me. I will not forget all the treasures due to me, 'cause I know where I come from. From the stars and the sun, from that magical wood, I am part of this thing called life. Yeah, from the known to unseen and everything in between, I am part of this thing called life. I am one with this thing called life.
So what I know right here and right now, first of all, is gratitude for Faith Rivera, who wrote that song, to remind us of who we are, those magical ones that came from the stars and the sun. That is who we are. Magic. God, love, light, divine. I'm so grateful to know that. I'm grateful for coming together today to remember that, and for each and every person in this room has shown their consciousness here, knowing that we are good and that our lives are expanding. And I give great gratitude for the people who served today, knowing that without them, we wouldn't be able to be here. And I thank them for every Sunday that they show up and do their thing for us in service. And that would be Melissa, Mojo, Sue Wood, and DJ today as Malama team, and our wonderful, amazing Reverend Diane being the practitioner today and giving the beautiful treatment that she did in the meditation, to Rob, who stands there stalwart behind that camera every week and works in between to make sure that our message goes out into the world, to Jonathan, who makes sure we're heard, to Arlena and Peter, who are not here today, I don't think, but their flowers still are from last week, so we thank them for the ever eternal flowers. And I want to give a special thanks to our special, amazing Ron Stover, who I cannot even tell you what that man does to make sure that we have hospitality all week long. He is amazing. Anyway, thank you, Ron, and for everyone that's helping you back there, and to Roseanne Jones for making our bookstore beautiful and educational, to Janice for sustaining our youth center for 5 years and never giving up, and to George, who joined her and stands in for her and helps her to have that time off that she needs, and she helps him to have her time off. So it's a really good partnership. And I give thanks for Maria Cristina for bringing us the beautiful music she does. Yay! And Luis for keeping that beat going. Thank you, Luis. And for our collection stewards today, who were Stephanie and Sue. I believe Stephanie Starrett and Sue Buckley, yes. And to everyone here, thank you for being with us. Thank you for helping and assisting and lifting the consciousness of the world. Thank you to everyone online. We are powerful, and let's go out and just show that power and give that power. And I just let it be so, as we say together, and so it is. Oh. We got one more verse.
Today is the day I've been more of myself, love my skin where I've been and everyone else. No more push, no more pull, simply flow as I go, cause I know where I come from the stars and the sun, from that magical word. I am part of this thing called life, yeah. From the no to a seed and everything in between. I am part of this thing called life. I am one with this thing called life.
Woo! Thank you.
Thank you so much. You're magnificent.